Alright, so it's time to do what must be done. It's the Nightmare Zelda Gate on Achilles, and Quaff is gonna love this, I'm sure. Okay. So I like this room on Achilles because, you know, it kind of turns into has the rooms where you gotta go around getting all the triggers to unlock the path forward on a single save, and that's kind of what this is. Now that it's all Achilles'd up. Alright, now that, okay, the way to unlock that is down here. I'm so glad I have like non-nightmare damage on this mode. I don't want to play Night Terror or whatever you want to call it, because, you know, it takes like the worst aspects of both modes and combines them into like just this nonsense I don't want to deal with. Oh shit. Yeah, okay. That was my fault for misjudging it. One thing to note is that the little Bowser heads do not have collision, so you can jump through them. Just be careful around them, because, you know, they shoot fireballs at you, and fireballs are deadly, especially on this mode. Come on, Mr. Doom Knocker. There we go. Alright. I was really scared of doing that on Nightmare, I think, for some reason. I don't know why. Again, oh my god, I'm so bad at video games. How many times am I gonna die the same way? Oh my god. Alright. Well, at least we're getting, you know, getting a lot of XP. That's good, right? That's what we want to do. Just jump over that fireball and you're kosher. Alright. Alright. So, DT3 is pretty forgiving with how far you can press against walls like that and retain your momentum and direction. I like that about it. Let's wait for those fireballs to despawn. I think this is like the correct way to go, but I'm gonna make sure. No, I think this is leading to like another Thunderbird yet. Okay, there we go. He's dead. And you can run under these, oh my god, I did not look to see what I was doing. This room might take us longer than I planned, but it's okay. Game audio is a bit loud. Let me just turn it down in the game. I don't want to miss. There we go. Yeah, this screen is probably one of the ones with like the largest disparity between standard, Nightmare, and Achilles mode, because you gotta do this whole room without getting hit. It's a thing. But the trick is that none of the individual challenges are that hard if you take your time. So let's just not rush it, you know. Yeah, it's a good room. Again, you want to wait for the fireballs from the Thunderbirds or Firebirds, or whatever the hell they are, to despawn. Yeah, Thunderbird is the boss. That's right. These guys are Firebirds. One thing I've noticed, it can be kind of hard to remember what enemies are named if you kill them in like 1 or 2 hits, because the thing doesn't stay on screen for very long. There we go. Oh shit. That could have gone poorly. Okay, watch out for that fireball. Come out here. Alright. I don't think there's anything over here I want to get. Okay, it's fire near room, forget it. I've been using crossbow in this playthrough, and I have to say crossbow is very good. Oh, come on. There we go. That's true, it does only take 6 seconds to kill Thunderbird. Alright, let's hope I don't, choke. Okay, that went well. Oh god. Okay. Again, it's really nice that you can just like run under the fireballs like that. It makes my day. Oh shit, okay. That's kind of a tight jump. Unfortunately, the Doom Knockers die in, 1 hit from, oh god, this is bad. Come on. Oh shit. Okay, I didn't want to do that. There's 1 hit. Let's see if I can hit him with a bomb. Maybe that works better. Yeah, okay. Not sure if it's the dead zone or if I'm just missing him with the arrows, but we killed him, so it's good. Okay, it is the dead zone then. Well. Alright, so now we gotta go over here and watch out for all the fireballs.
You can change that dead zone.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
How?
Zero was asking me about changing the dead zone, and I was like, well, how about, or for like the Switch controller stuff?
Yeah.
And I was like, how about I just let players change that? It's in the controller, the gamepad settings.
Oh, I'm not talking about the controller dead zone. I'm talking about the dead zone for stuff going off screen.
Oh yeah, Wild Zephyr appears.
Yeah.
I joined in and then silenced my microphone and just listened for a moment.
Yeah, I decided to just kind of sit in the actual voice channels on here whenever I'm streaming, because nobody uses them. Might as well get some use out of them.
For sure.
All right, we got all the keys. Now let's hope I can make it back without dying. And as you guys can see, I already have like over 500 deaths. Achilles mode is not a joke. I died.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I died like over 100 times to Kamek.
I would imagine so. I like this particular map on Achilles.
Oh yeah, it's cool on Achilles because you have to go around and do the whole thing in one go. There we go.
You've almost got it. Oh, yep, you got it.
Okay, let's just get that guy into the pit. So, like, when was this Nightmare Gate made in terms of, like, a game completion?
So the... What was it?
Okay, that didn't work.
I can't remember when I did this.
Because, like, it feels like a good deal more polished than some of the platforming in actual Zelda Gate, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it wasn't right after Zelda. It was, I think... Oh, hold up. There we go. I didn't want that breath exhale into the mic there. I know this was in... That was a good bullet.
Yes,
I know this was in... This was in the demo. All three of the extra gates were in the demo.
Oh, damn. Should've just kept running there. You really have to actually learn the timing of all these fireballs.
Okay, so I believe all 3 of the extra gates were made after after Castlevania,
Okay, that makes
and
sense.
I went back. And this was the only gate for a while that had a boss fight. The only extra gate. Mario didn't have one. Castlevania didn't have one either.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I believe Camixless is one of your like favorite fights in the boss gallery, and that makes sense.
Yeah,
It
he was a super late. Though the bosses for those didn't come in until super duper late in development.
And meanwhile, we have like Nightmare in Metroid Gate, who is like a total joke. I'm guessing he was made earlier in development. Okay, that was a
so Nightmare Metroid was made right after Metroid was made.
Okay.
What happened to Nightmare? I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I think so. So there was a lot of buffs to Claire.
Oh, to Claire
afterwards,
specifically.
and other things. Yeah, and there were a lot of things that were compensated for that, but Nightmare didn't really get that. Yes, Spazer was rebalanced, and Spazer was even rebalanced post-launch. And I know there was a builder too, a public builder too, where Spazer was like god tier. There was basically no reason to not use George Spazer on basically everything. It was ridiculously powerful, and I was like only a few days. I'm like, shit, fix that. I think Raukau had like a day where he had that or something.
Oh yeah, I remember Raukau like using the Spazer, but like basically exclusively. And I suppose that like taught him it was really good, and he never changed it.
Yeah, so there was a build or two that Raukau had that was ridiculous. But Claire had but that was the only thing about that changed. But there's a lot of other things that changed too. Like Spazer just became more useful to use, and a lot of people go to Nightmare after having Railgun, and it was designed for him. Like Zero specifically wanted him for that.
Oh, so that's where Railgun came in then.
Yeah, that was one of Zero's suggestions, and that came in after I had made. It was one of the pieces of gear that give you. I think it was the. What was it? Yeah, Energy Gem. How you gain something but you lose something at the same time. And then that gave Zero a lot of ideas for other pieces of gear. That's where some of those things came in. Yeah, he was like, "Oh, that's a good idea."
That's kind of like the main theme of a lot of the items, like sacrifice DPS or ammo or whatever in exchange for this special ability.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Equipment is one of those things I would have completely changed up had I made it now. Like you wouldn't have any of the power gear. Like a lot of the gear that's in the Nightmare mode now is a lot of the gear that would be there. Power gear, maybe defensive gear. Like that's fine. It's kind of like more like a crutch for certain players.
Yeah, like as is, like there's no reason to never not equip the power up gear.
Right, and that's why, because it's uninteresting.
Yeah.
To have that, so. Bye money, because it spawns in the middle of instead of the proper way to do that. Oh, whatever. One day maybe I'll actually look at that code and make it spawn proper. I could do it now.
Ah, so close. The last part of this room, you actually want to bonk your head, I'm finding. Otherwise, Jerry will hang in the air too long and get hit.
Yeah. Fun thing about bonking, I had forgotten about this until I looked in the code at it. It straight up reverses your velocity.
Yeah, in I Wanna, it like actually cancels your upward momentum, I think.
Right, in a DT, yeah, it did not. All three. Yep, so if you're going slow, it'll bonk you slow. There is a minimum threshold on that, but... Yep. Oh, you dodged that time.
So yeah, like, my favorite piece, I guess you could call it tech in the DT games, is Jerry's ability to just, run under a lot of stuff. And I imagine like a lot of that was specifically placed so you could run under it with Jerry.
Yeah.
Come on, get over here. Oh shit. I was paying too much attention to the enemy and not enough to the fireballs. This room is probably the hardest on Achilles so far, I'm gonna say.
This is the hardest room for me on Achilles. How about that?
Like, period?
For Zelda Gate, anyway, yeah.
Right. Yeah, for Zelda
Oh,
Gate.
yeah, no, there are definitely maps that are a nightmare for me.
Oh, yeah. Like, Brian was saying that he actually did play all of DT3 on Achilles before releasing it.
Yeah. Like, I didn't play it on Achilles mode. I just,
Did
like, before I released, yeah. Wex is the only thing I released to anyone where I didn't do it perfectly myself.
And that makes sense, because, you know, Wex is kind of... He's a thing.
Yeah. Like, I knew it was possible. I just was like, I'm gonna have to grind this out for, like, 10 hours, probably, to make sure.
Right.
And there would have been, like, adjustments, throughout those 10 hours. And so...
And you did end up having to nerf some of it when, like, Wafu and Brian played it.
Yeah. Basically, everybody else play tested that one for me a little further than what me and me, Brian, and Zero had looked at.
Let's wait for a good
I might do a nightmare run myself sometime. I started one and then I don't have the save file anymore. Somehow.
Did the same thing again. See, it's like right at the end of the screen, so you want to rush it, but that causes bad things to happen.
It does. But nightmare mode is actually fun now. Thanks, movie, for running through that, and like as we all had ideas for a new nightmare mode as you played it.
Yeah, like nightmare is a cool concept. I think the changes you made like played up the idea of it being an alternate difficulty mode and not just, haha, the player character sucks now.
Yeah. So I like Slick's thoughts on different difficulty settings in games. Like I don't mind some just straight up vertical difficulty settings, like Ninja Gaiden, stuff like that. Just enemies hit harder, all that. But like I like the idea of like a different difficulty setting changing the way the game is played.
Yeah, that's kind of like what appealed to me about Nightmare, because it had the Nightmare exclusive abilities and all that.
Right.
That was one of the reasons I wanted to play it, just to find out what they were.
So, what Kefit is saying in chat is that you don't know how to read. He just uses speech to text.
Yeah,
like
I don't
all
know
the time.
how to read. Come on, let's see. This should be good.
So when I first read that, I like immediately was trying to make some joke in my head about how you don't know how to talk, and like everything you say is actually sent through a text thing. Oh no!
That was so close, but I get hit by the top ones that time. Let's see what chat's saying. I've been neglecting to read it.
Yeah, there is Kefit, but yeah.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden is actually an example of like a difficulty not doing that at all. You always do the same amount of damage to enemies, and they always take the same amount of hits in Ninja Gaiden, but it changes like the enemy spawns and encounters and all that.
Right.
Now in Devil May Cry, enemies do have like way more HP.
Yeah.
Higher difficulties.
They are bullets, or not bullet spongers. They're basically sponges in that game. It's ridiculous.
I know that's the reason why Kefit isn't really interested in DMC, because it's a very spongy game, as you said. It's like it's based more around like what sort of combos can you do than like can you beat these enemies or not.
Right.
Okay, Skullball, just fly off in that direction forever.
God Hand does God Hand scales difficulty based on your performance, but
yeah, it has.
That does the thing where, like, and it actually like legit shows you the enemy level, and that one does it like they counter more. They're a little more active. They do more damage, but they don't have more HP though. Because then they would be like actively scaling HP.
Yeah, it's basically an arcade style rank system, but you don't actually see that often in console games. Oh god, the end of this room is so hard.
Oh man, you got this backstab there.
I jumped into the spikes that time.
Nice.
Think about Achilles, you want to take it slow, but I don't want to take it slow, and it keeps proving to be my downfall.
So your internet's doing a lot better. What did you do to fix that?
I reset my router, and it worked.
Oh man, you got trapped in there.
Oh yeah. That was all kinds of poor playing. Clearly I should kill the skull orbs. That'll help.
Like every attempt.
Yeah, just
sit there and mash on them over and over. Yeah.
They have 5,000 HP, I believe, so that would take quite a while. Oh, and I mentioned earlier, but I've been using the crossbow on this run. The crossbow is very good. Like, it's not something you'd probably think to use, but it's real good. It might like actually actually be like one of the best pieces of equipment in the game.
It's pretty nice. Crossbow was another like sometime after railgun.
Right.
I was like, I like that. Let's put that in there. I basically I had something like 20, close to 30 items on the list, and I told them like I need to fill up that list, so I need 40 items. So give me ideas for that. So we came up with ideas.
And of course, you ended up with 3 items that just boost attack. Oh, that's skull bile.
Yeah, those were already in there. It was the ones that I was like fill up the rest of the list essentially.
Yeah, I guess the sword items are pretty obvious things to include. But...
Yeah. Which, like I said, if there were ever a DT 3.5 type of thing, which there won't be, those items are removed. The game would be rebalanced, and those items would just not exist.
Right.
Power items, like I said, defensive gear would probably still exist, just as some people want that crutch, and it helps some people, so that's fine.
Yeah, it's not. It's a trade-off if you actually want to equip that or not. You could be using something better, but if you
something
want
better,
crutch,
yeah.
Meanwhile, there's nothing better than the power glove, so why would you never not have it?
Exactly, 15% is huge in this game, so. Yeah, I think somebody asked me many moons ago in Discord why DT3.
Yeah, ask you why DT3
didn't have. Oh man, you had your chance there.
I did.
So in DT1, your damage scales up based on your combo, and 3 doesn't have that.
Oh, that would get very silly very quickly.
Yeah, and it was in a really early build that I had for myself, and I was like, this is dumb. Yeah, there are people who go, oh man, I take half a heart more of damage per hit. No way, I'm not gonna use Power Glove.
And you have Kevin who keeps it equipped during platforming sections because he wants to take more damage. He actually did that with Zero's level. He just kept Power Glove on the entire time because he wanted to make it harder.
There you go. I tested Wex with Power Glove on.
Wex does quite a bit more damage than anything in the rest of the game comparatively.
Yeah. He does.
Shit, I jumped right in.
He does half a heart more than standard War Master.
Actually, I think the most powerful enemy in the game is the Golem, the RPG game. But he's kind of a gimmick. So.
Yeah, basically every one of those bosses are just kind of a thing, or kind of a nothingness.
one thing we determined when watching Neil's recent speedrun is that Flame Elemental is actually like the exact halfway point of the game.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, I looked at that list of the timestamps. That was, I was like, oh man.
Like we always thought that it was like, you know, like the Vault or Metroid was halfway point, but no, it's Flame Elemental. He was good for something after all.
Yeah, like getting all the MacGuffins in the game straight up is the halfway point,
Yeah.
basically. It surprised me how much time the end game essentially took, like chapter 17 and up took in the game.
Right. I mean, chapter 19 in particular is very long. It's like four distinct areas, I believe.
Yeah, it's the longest chapter in the game by far.
I should charge up my arrows.
Well, you know, LP Flame Elemental, he's the guy who, you know, owns the script, as we saw.
Yeah, Flame Elemental is literally the secret boss. And that guy's sprite is like from a Ghostbusters game or something, isn't it?
It is. I should charge my arrows, said no one ever. Yeah, it's true, Quaff. No one ever uses that except for the time when the game goes, use this, you have to.
It's like
Ah.
it's like useful, but for some reason nobody ever remembers it. Like I don't think it's like a bad thing to include, but I don't know, for some reason whatever, nobody ever uses it.
So charging weapons should have been a little bit faster in this game, and it overall just like a few frames faster for basically everything. And arrows, a fully charged arrow should have done like 25% more damage or something. There should have been an incentive to charge it
That would help.
periodically.
Like
Yeah.
you do get the piercing, but the piercing is not that relevant because normally you're just attacking one enemy at once.
Right.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there's not a lot of enemy spam in DT3. I learned that that enemy spam does not really work for DT games with DT1, because DT1 does it like every single level.
Oh yeah, ask me about the no dash room in DT1. There we go.
Were we talking about the Veiled Detritus?
Yes.
Yeah, that map. Oh man.
That room is... like, when I got there and destroyed, I just started laughing because it seemed so obviously ridiculous. But, like, due to the way you scaled the enemies, it, like, had to be that way or something?
Yeah. Oh, no. So, LP, Zero and I talked about having an item like that would make you, like, triple shot the bow.
Triple shot
And it would...
bow.
And yeah, like an equip item that would make it so the bow would triple shot for, like, an increased amount, yeah. Or for an increased ammo cost. We thought about that. I never gave it to anyone. Or actually, I never implemented it like that. I thought about it, and I didn't like what it would lead to. Basically, things like railgun and stuff like that.
Okay, that works.
Oh yeah, that sign. Oh man, I forgot that sign even existed.
Alright, I'm gonna go for the top. Let's see.
Yeah, we contemplated like ideas of like a triple shot or a double shot, as LP had mentioned.
Oh shit. Okay,
It
I
was-
locked myself in by trying to do the skip. That was smart.
Oh wow. Yeah, LP, this game is sexist.
Claire doesn't even let Jerry drive. Though really, I'd say I trust Claire driving more than Jerry, let's be honest.
This is true. Everyone would. She seems more responsible.
Yeah. Jerry does not seem very responsible. And I have no idea if that's like how the real life Jerry is or not, but DT Jerry does not seem like a good driver. You've mentioned that like Jerry and Jeremy have never even like played these games, which I find
Yeah, the DT games, yeah.
because they have like this entire game series about them, and they didn't play it.
Jerry's played DT2.
DT2, the one that doesn't star
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Alright, that room would give me less grief than I thought it would. But we're coming up on the room I was streaming this in the first place for, so we'll see how that goes.
Here it goes. Soon.
Yeah. The big room
As long
is
as you
too
don't-
hard, and you don't really take damage here anyway.
Yeah, except for that right there, we got hammered in the face.
Yeah, that was just me being bad.
Quaff is just getting so excited.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna first try the tiles, I assure you. They're actually hard.
But what if you did?
If I did, it would be... I don't know. Quaff would just... I don't know what Quaff would do. I'd be worried about it.
We wouldn't see him on the internet for like the next 3 months or something.
Yeah. Okay, so Brian took 2 hours on the tiles, apparently.
He goes a month. Oh, he was talking about something else. Never mind.
Alright, I'm gonna go. I like this room because like it's designed in such a way that even if you just like run around randomly, you'll eventually figure it out.
Yeah.
Let's see, there's probably a way to get down there with a bomb. I want to do that. Actually, fuck it, I don't want to do a bomb. This takes too long. Oh, shit. Alright. I've always liked the usage of the Mario blocks here too.
They are so useful for like the
Yeah.
I don't want players going down here until they've been down there type things. They're really good. Thanks, Nintendo.
Yeah, I always find it cool, like how you like repurposed a lot of stuff from various games you took inspiration from. Like you mentioned the fireflies in Metroid Gate, and that's something I thought was cool because they were never really meant as obstacles in the original, and you turned them into like something you actually have to deal with.
Yeah, I always thought that was kind of weird. Like they were just such a non-thing, and like that. And I felt like in Super Metroid they were just kind of there as like a spectacle.
Right.
Like, hey, look at this cool thing we did with, you know, tinting the map, tinting an overlay on the screen. But and I was like, well, let's do something with that instead. So.
To be fair, that was probably more of a technological achievement back in those days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure. I don't know. I don't know how much of a strain it is on the SNES hardware to put like another layer over the screen.
Right.
So.
But yeah, there's like a lot of stuff in Super NES games, like especially the early ones. It's just kind of there because oh look, we've got mode 7 and whatever. Like there's this one particular boss in Super Ghouls and Ghosts. It does nothing at all except spin around, and it's just obviously showing off mode 7. I always found it pretty amusing. And
Yeah, that's a. I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, and Castlevania 4 has the mode 7 rooms near the beginning of the game that spin around too, and those are pretty
Yeah,
silly.
the spin rooms where you hang on the chains with the whip.
Yeah.
Yep. So I recently tried to play Ghouls and Ghosts, and that
Oh, yeah.
game is bullshit. It just non-stop enemies spawning on top of you. I don't know how I don't know how I beat that game back in the day. I mean, I know, but like at the same time, just like, how do they have the patience for this? I couldn't save state back in the day.
Right. Okay, so we're at the horrible room. The thing about Ghouls and Ghosts is that, like, the first stage is, like, arguably the hardest. It just drops you in the middle of all these bullshit enemy spawns and, like, okay, guy, good luck. And it, like, actually
Yep.
gets easier after that, I find. Okay, so let's see how long
Yeah, I
this
guess so.
takes. Alright, so here's a nice
So
little...
he's. There we go.
Okay. Okay, so these guys take 0 damage from the sword, so there's no...
Yeah, there's
no,
nothing that. There's none of that.
no air stall, basically. But you can blow them up with bombs, which is something I never realized until, like, seeing... I think it was Jamers do it? I don't know. Somebody did.
Oh god, that clutch dodge, or I guess bomb save, but it was for naught.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who it was that revealed to the world that you could destroy these with bombs.
Okay. Definitely makes it doing on Achilles a bit more reasonable, but it's still pretty hard.
Kefit tells you to try a 4-frame, 2-frame.
Alright, Kevin, that sounds like it'll work in this game. Oh, shit.
Oh man, you're so close. Yet so far, because the end doesn't give you.
Yeah, the end is probably the hardest part. It looks like because you don't have anywhere to stand on.
Last part is so hard.
Oh, hey, I got hit in the safe spot. This is not entirely safe.
Oh, was it a? Were you slightly to the left instead of to the right?
Looks
Oh,
like
there
that
we
was
go.
who did it.
Okay.
Oh, I got an AP level up from the bombs, just like, from the blocks, just like Quaff did apparently.
Nice. Oh, there it is.
I'm surprised you actually made them give AP. You made the meteors give AP too. Like, just in case you're not max level there, I guess.
Yeah. Right. At that point, you don't need AP anymore.
Right.
Uh-oh. That Moogie net.
Oh yeah, it's happening.
Oh yeah, apparently Kat wasn't at max level.
Oh.
She didn't have all the pickups either.
I always find it impressive when people like actually beat War Master without having all the items. Because I know I went back and got like pretty much everything before beating him. And it still took me hours and hours because, you know, War Master is... For as much as we joke about him being easy, War Master is quite difficult.
Oh yeah, especially for like anyone playing him for the first time, of course. I always find basically everyone takes roughly 2 to 4 hours the first time they try him.
Yeah. Like, I was on the low side, and it still took, like, 2 hours. Oh, I stopped ducking.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Should probably stop.
Yeah.
Listening to these.
Yeah, you can. But I mean, like, that's fine if you're using assist mode. There's a reason. I mean, there's a reason why it was put in there. So, I guess someone just wants to go farther, but they're just like, I don't know how to do this, so, and they want to experience the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, assist mode is totally valid. Like, I don't think it like actually cuts you off from anything except XP, does it?
Yeah, like you just don't gain it. Yeah, exactly. And that might be why, like, depending, like, if you use it on a lot of bosses, you won't get a lot of AP. But like, as you've seen, like, you don't really need max level in this game.
Yeah. In DT1, you do definitely want max level because, you know, Shroud Lore.
Yeah. And yeah, and like, this is the first time Kat had ever played DT, so.
Right. established that people like apparently like actually playing this game multiple times anyway, so you know, despite it being like 50 hours long. Usually, actually 50 hours is like on the really low side.
So
I remember you saying you were surprised by how long people took with the game, like, because it took you only like 30 hours to test it or whatever.
yeah, it took me like 35 hours getting 100%, just kind of like just casual running through, doing things, testing stuff while I ran around. But like, because I hadn't really like done a full playthrough, I didn't really look at the playtime until the very end.
Right.
And so when I saw that I took 35 hours, even though I did all this stuff, and I was like, oh shit, what have I done? I was like, this game wasn't supposed to be that long. Like there was like a legit like, oh no, shit, this game was way too long. There's definitely a lot of stuff I would cut like on a redo.
I kind of agree with Brian in that. Like, I don't mind how long a game is as long as like all the length is good content.
Yeah, but I would, but like I look at some of the content in the game and I go, I can cut that, or I could shorten this, or this map doesn't need to be here.
Like,
yeah, I love long games, and I agree with what he says about like one of the best feelings is when you think you're about to be done with a game and then you're not.
right.
And that's one of the greatest things. So one of the things that's happening to you, Mugi, so these guys, these tiles are locked onto your current like the middle of your sprite, and when you launch the bomb,
I'm moving
you come
upwards.
up a little bit. Yeah, like it goes by your sprite, not by your actual XY location, which is a thing. Wait, why did I hit you there? Oh, you went too early.
Yeah. So, like, what would you cut specifically? I know you mentioned like Death's Floating Castle would be something you could cut.
Yeah, I would repurpose some things with Death's Flying Castle. I don't know. I know a lot of people like that level, but that's probably one of the first ones I'd cut. As far as like Gate Nightmare, or sorry, Gate Castlevania.
Right. And there are actually, I know, levels that didn't make it into the game, despite how ridiculously long it is.
I was a little worried about Castlevania Gate because I thought it was too long, and I thought it was going to give people like, oh god, am I still on this level type thing. That turned out to not really be the case. I think I saw like maybe 1 or 2 people, like reviews and stuff like that, that said this level's still going, but everyone still seemed to like it. So.
Yeah, Castlevania is kind of like the introduction to a lot of the more DT-esque platforming, I guess I'd say. So it feels kind of it doesn't actually feel that much like Castlevania in places, but it keeps it fresh.
So one of the things I did with the gates was there's like 2 halves to the gates. There was it wasn't a second fetch quest. Yeah, like it needs to not be a fetch quest, like. But one of the things that there's like 2 parts to each like gate. There's the first half that I treat as like this is more of a reference to the source material, and then the second part of it is you've gotten used to that, now use DT-esque things.
That makes sense.
They didn't quite execute like that all the way, especially in things like Metroid.
It's most prominent in Castlevania for sure, because I mean Metroid is just it's a Metroid game. That's pretty much all it is.
Yeah. I think Mario kind of does that. It's like right around when you get to Toad Town, a little mini Toad area, is when it goes into more silly DT things.
So rumors of this room are not exaggerated, I have to say.
No, it's harsh.
Ah, so close. That was like the last 3 tiles.
Oh man. Oh.
guess the trick is kind of figuring out which ones you want to bomb and which ones you
Oh, wow. So close.
Yeah, like I'm finding that the trick is like figuring out which ones you want to bomb and which ones you want to actually dodge. Jamer said this is like a very routing-centric area, and I can see what he meant.
Yeah. I saw you guys' comments on Discord about the Zelda tiles EX thing and all that, and coming up like ridiculous scenarios.
Yeah, like if these are random, it would just be.
Oh my god, no.
Like
There's very little random RNG in this game. It's there. There are some RNG. I'd rather that not be there, but there's some RNG around the game anyway.
I mean, sometimes there's like no solution but to use RNG.
Right. Or like there's like pseudo RNG, like War Master, like, oh, if you're in an attacking state or not in an attacking state, makes certain things. But War Master, I think, and if Frey has looked at this part of the code, War Master has so the way he does decision making, there's not just like if he's attacking or if you're attacking or not attacking. There's two sets of the code, or two sets of that. So after he finishes a whole attack cycle,
yeah,
his next set of actions, or no, it's 2 and then 2, and it goes back. So the first 2 sets of actions will be the same decision-making tree. Then the next 2 after that, 3 and 4, will be a different one, and then it goes back to 1 and 2. So if you've ever been like, wait, he did something different, that's why.
Yeah, like War Master, like I had no idea he was not RNG. Like when you first told us that, I couldn't believe it, because it really does seem like he's just doing whatever he wants to.
Yeah. God, no LP, that's never happening.
Yeah, it's like a DT3 ROM hack.
One of the rules that I have is, and this does happen at times, but it can't be too much controller fuckery to play.
Right.
Like that's a rule.
Yeah, I played DT3 in very long sittings, and it was never like a burden on my hands or whatever. Like the game does not require a lot of precise inputs.
Right. No, it did not have that rule, and I warned Zero about that, and that's fine. And I told him it's totally fine for this, like, because it's not in the game proper, and he knew.
Yeah, that's probably like the single biggest difference in his area now I think about it.
Yeah.
You're doing like very precise motions very quickly.
Yeah. The beginning of map 3, where you have to like dash to a thing and then switch and then go on to the chain thing to line up your shot, like that kind of stuff. I don't really. I tried to steer away from that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, like there's nothing wrong with like controller fuckery, and it's cool that it's funny that you guys know what I talk about when I say controller fuckery or input fuckery. You guys exactly know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, generally, like if it requires that, no, it's not in the game.
I mean, it's already hard enough. Like we don't need to
Exactly.
like, actually have ultra precise stuff.
Right. Like the difficulty is in the execution. So.
Like if it was joking about do a 4-frame, 2-frame, like that's not something you would ever see in DT.
Yeah.
Actually,
But it's funny that. Oh.
I was like,
Go ahead.
I was wondering if you could do a jump cancel in DT. That's something I wanted to test. But I don't know exactly how the jumping works.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
Because it works in fan games, because like releasing the jump button counts as its own input. And I don't know
Right.
That's how
Oh, yeah. No, it does not.
Okay.
There is a release, like the way it handles like the variable jumping height, but no, that just tells the variable jumping to stop the vertical movement. controller fucker. Yeah, that shit ass controller that Slicks has. So it's funny that like you say it's very noticeable how much I try to steer away from that after you play Zero's level, but like Zero was one of the big proponents of like keeping that out. He was the bullshit detector. If there was a thing and there was a lot of like, hold on Zephyr, what the fuck is this? Like Zero was usually there to catch that. So. And like everyone did, but like Zero was like, hey, if this is too hard for me, it probably is gonna be too hard for everyone else type of thing.
Yeah,
that wasn't like the 100% metric, but like that it was a good metric to go. It was a good metric to go by for a lot of things. So yeah, and he even was like, oh no, you did it.
Yep.
Holy shit.
How long did that take?
Let's see. You started with what was the death count? Let's scroll up a little bit. Where the fuck was that? 546. So it took you 52 deaths.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
I was actually like kind of dreading that after how much Quaff and Brian hyped it up. And like it is hard, like don't get me wrong, but it's not that hard. I'm gonna say it.
So like, but everybody has trouble. Like everyone has trouble with different things.
Yeah, everybody has trouble with different things. Like I'm gonna mess up the basketball here. It's just a fact of life at this point.
Yeah. Quaff Cray in real life.
Oh, and like this boss is something like I think I don't know if we've like directly addressed it to you, but there's a lot of parts in DT3 that have like black bullets on black backgrounds. Yeah, and that's like some people like literally can't even see it due to having their monitors set up. So like that's something.
Yeah.
To be aware of.
Yeah. It's a thing that won't ever happen in other games. Well, I'll try to keep it from happening. And of course, playtesters hopefully will catch things like that.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody caught it in DT3 because you had like a fair amount of people test this.
So they told me about it, and it was darker than this. It used to be like 20 points on the RGB scale darker than this.
So it was even worse. All right.
It was, and it was even worse on like if you want to see, some people might have demo footage. You can see some of that. Although you're also getting through YouTube filters and all that, so.
Right.
And
that's like, it's very dependent on your monitor itself. Like I can see it fine, but other people, it's like basically equivalent shades of black.
Yeah, like for me, like this is super clear for me.
Yeah.
Like for me, like that background is gray.
Yeah, it looks great for me too. But for a lot of people, it looks like black.
Yeah. Like some of the, like you guys, if you can't see this guy, this is just it's saying, hey, go buy a better monitor.
You go down to Toad Town and buy one with your internets.
There we go.
Okay.
I can't see the stream title. I just realized Twitch is being dumb. Is it called I Wanna Be the Zephyr?
No, it's called I Want to Be the Achilles Tiles.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So it shows that you're streaming something else. I just looked at Discord and it says I want to be the Z ... And I'm like, is that what this is?
No one can be the Zephyr. So yeah, we're in the basketball spaghetti territory at the moment.
Oh man. No one will shame you if you come back here later when you have more power.
Yeah, I might
No one
end
will
up
do
doing
that.
depending on how long this takes, because
Yeah.
it's just Final Nightmare, whatever. We don't care about him too much.
Like, you know, like when you get the power glove, you can come back.
Yeah. You actually can't come here with the power glove. Have to kill Wafu to get that.
Yeah, you do. Are you playing with Wafu mode on?
I probably should, but like you have to toggle it every time you start the game.
Yeah, I didn't want certain modes being permanent, so.
Yeah, like you figured nobody would be able to beat the game on 2x speed, but
Right.
So much for that.
Plus, exactly. Plus, no one wants a Wafu mode on at all times.
That's true.
Oof.
Wow, Kevin is saying to remove phase 1 because I'm better than him in it.
That's not happening. If anything, that's more reason to just keep it there.
Yeah. Shame Kevin for not ever doing his Achilles or Night Terror mode or whatever the one that he keeps saying he's gonna do, but he just never does.
Right. I'm one of those fake contrarians that when someone's like, "Oh, don't do this thing," and I'm like, "I'm gonna do it anyway." Now, definitely. I call it fake contrarian because it's not what it is.
Okay. I was being too conservative with my sword strikes at the start there for whatever reason.
And Quaff over there, Zephyr, don't make DT4.
Speaking of which, are you ever actually going to like release the patch for Happy Fun Game? Because I am kind of like, I'm gonna say sort
I have
of
that.
interested in playing that.
Yeah, I have that on my public, whatever Dropbox thing. You guys can download that.
Oh, you never told us.
Yeah, I will tell you. Prepare for a game. Here's what I can say that is factually true. The game gets better, but it never becomes
Good.
like, man, this is such a really great experience. It is an experience. You never told us. Yeah, yes, exactly, Quaff. Like, it is a video game, and you'll see ideas from it that made it into DT1 and even into DT3 that DT1 did not do. You'll be like, oh, well, he wanted to remake this.
Why am I so bad at ducking? Like, the most advanced ability in the game for sure.
I mean, it's just, you gotta hold down, that's hard.
Yeah.
Like, if you watched my Hollow Knight stream at all, you will see that I have the most trouble with straight lines. If an enemy shoots something at me in a straight line in one bullet, I will get hit by it every single time.
Okay. Like, in some stream, Brian was talking about how, like, Mega Man bosses prove that people have, like, very hard times with these basic patterns, and it's true.
Yeah, humans have a... We had a discussion about it when I was actually playing Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are really bad at a lot of things like that. And like, there's an enemy in Hollow Knight. It was just one of those dumb like yellow bugs that fly around, and he shoots a bullet, but then it's a 3-shot, and it shoots the other two at like maybe 30-degree angles change from the center bullet that's aimed, and I'd get hit by that like 90% of the time. Like, thankfully the game has a heal anytime you want mechanic.
Right.
Slake's over there with the
Right. So
real talk.
Yeah, you have the whole ducking tutorial at the start. And as I predicted, I'm very bad at basketball.
It's fine, we play video games, so
Yeah.
none of us are really good at sports. Like, I got a touchdown one time in school. One time. I was still picked last.
Oh yeah, I actually have memories of the cliche being picked last from the gym.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's why I said it. I was like, I wonder how many of us, have memories of this. I guess a little bit of Valkyrie's Hollow Knight experience there, a little before this. Before going to Cat's stream,
Yeah.
he lost money.
Yeah, the thing with that mechanic in Hollow Knight is like I'm not really sure why it's in the game, except they wanted to be more like Dark Souls.
Yeah, I didn't mind it because it added this tension to death.
That was bad better than the rocks. Those rocks do seem to be actually RNG. Like whenever I play the game now, I'm looking for stuff that is like actually RNG.
Yeah, the top rocks are RNG, and maybe one day I'll actually fix that. No, I won't. I'm trying to get away from this game.
It's not important anyway. Unless you're on Achilles, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And like I think if you're playing Achilles, you've made the decision to put up with what the game throws at you.
And you're probably good enough,
Yeah.
probably. You are good enough to handle stuff like that, or you can make those split-second decisions. Yeah, like Cat. So you barely survived the opening. Like I said, like everyone's good and bad at different things. So Which is actually one of, again, like this game has so many like weird change-ups. That was one of the ideas. That's the reason why, also because that assist mode. Oh my god, sentences. Why assist mode is there, because the game changes its gameplay so often. Like I'm like, man, someone might be really, really bad at this. So.
For example, I'm really, really bad at basketball.
Yep. And that bubble bobble thing was meant to come back, and I just never did.
Oh yeah.
Like I legit just forgot about it. I was like, oh yeah, that happened. Because in the craziness of developing the game.
This is pathetic. I'm just gonna say this is pathetic playing. I'm not sure. But I figured out how to easily dodge these black bullets. You just stand in the middle. I never figured that out either playthrough.
It's the pro strat. You only have to dodge them one time.
Yeah, okay, we finally got one hit on.
Bubble
wow,
bobble
I can't believe
crush.
I got hit by that.
I'm awaiting for this epic being hit by something.
I get hit by the attack you should never be hit by.
You want to bounce your bomb about, so if he's in the middle, bounce your bomb about 2 tiles above the door. I think. Yeah, roughly roughly 2.5 tiles above the door. You just did it, yeah. Or, well, I just saw it.
Wafu, please don't bully me. I died to Cacletta, so, yeah.
Wafu, not everyone's an all-star player, okay? We can't all be dunking like you.
Yeah, Wafu.
We're short we are all short nerds, goddammit. Fucking Wafu bullying the shit out of us. You're bringing back traumatic experiences for us. Thanks, Wafu. Now we're gonna cry.
Yeah, Wafu's like the jock picking on the nerds.
Yeah.
Oh hey, this guy doesn't have damage on touch. Never noticed that.
Oh, his actual sprite? Oh yeah, he doesn't.
That's something
Less
that
no
DT
content.
is like really good about in general. Like a lot of times, the challenge is not like avoiding the boss's sprite, but in like pretty much most games is like have bosses with collision by default, and it's like, did you really think out like why you're dodging this boss? You're not dodging him just to stay away from the boss sprite itself.
Right. I would like to move away from contact damage as much as possible.
Yeah, because I guess what I'm trying to say, I'm not phrasing it very well, is like the challenge should be the boss's attacks themselves, and not like, you know, just
Right.
haha, you ran into the boss, you get fucked.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know what you're saying, for sure. That makes a lot of sense. I am tempted to make like a Zelda Tiles EX thing, because it would take me like no time at all.
Yeah, it's like you can make it easily, but should you?
Right, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what the B-side is for.
Oh god, put it in the B-side.
You guys, there's a map you guys haven't found.
Really?
I mean, there's an empty spot.
Huh.
Been in there since the inception of B-side.
So that actually does have something in it.
Oh, yeah, that's why that sign is there. Saying, hey, why haven't you found this yet? So the only thing that cannot be accessed within that is unlocked, that is FedEx is the only thing that's unlocked outside of B-side. That's the only clue I will give.
Interesting.
Yeah, I just gave the first clue. I asked Frey about it one time because I was like, hey, have you seen that? He's like, I've looked, I've noticed there's something there, but he's actually restrained himself from looking at what it is.
Oh. I mean,
Yeah.
I would totally just find out what it is.
Yeah. Oh, 2-hour mark. I'm going to add a 12-hour message. It's gonna be because there's already a 24-hour message and it mentions Quaff, but there's gonna be a 12-hour message that mentions if you're seeing this, you're not getting the you're not getting the world record. Since it works perfectly. I mean, I know it's like 12:11 on the timer, but technically, actually, the game's timer works a little weird. So if you're going for real 12 hours, the game is gonna hit its 12-hour mark probably around like 12 hours and 30 minutes, like 11 hours and 30 minutes of real time.
Yeah, I've noticed the game time is like pretty inaccurate to how long you've actually spent playing it. Is that
Yeah,
like,
and that's because
Yeah, go ahead.
So like it misses a frame at the end the way it calculates when it counts from the second to the minute timer.
Ah,
So that's why
and that adds up over time, obviously.
it does. It adds up like yeah. I mean, basically every minute or every 1 second you lose. It's every minute I think you lose a second or you lose a frame. You lose a frame or you lose a second, and that adds up really fast. That wasn't one of those things that I like tested for, but you know, it gives you a general idea of what your time is in the game, though, and that's so. Yeah, hidden content, Jill guy. Like I said, everything is accessible, is unlocked within the B-side.
So again, very good basketball playing.
Oh yeah. Like I said, no one will shame you if you leave.
I'm probably gonna leave after this attempt because this is not fun to watch to stream.
I mean, we're having fun watching you lose, so. There's a certain level of giddiness that we get every time we see that game over screen.
Well, actually, I have the game over screen turned off. So.
Oh, well. Yeah, you should probably skip this then, for now. We don't even get that. And if he's on the far right side, you want to be on the extremes, and then you want to be almost at the peak of your jump when you let it go, and closer to the wall. And go hunt for the hidden content. Yeah.
So close.
Yeah, Waffle will shame you, but it's not like, you know, he matters, so. Oh yeah, you want when he's on the extreme side and you're on the other extreme, you want to bounce it off the wall. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, of course. Remember, I'm seeing like 30 seconds ago, Moogie. So.
Okay, we actually hit him that time. Amazing.
You can also like two tile or like 2 pixel the platform, the spike platforms. You can totally stand up there.
Can you?
Because of Jerry's, yeah, because of Jerry and Claire's ridiculously small hitbox.
Crossbow is very good against phase 3, of course. Alright. Well, I'll give it one more try.
Okay. Ilvo asks if he can come in.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I'm in the voice chat to begin with, so anybody could just drop in.
Oh, jeez.
Hello.
Hello, Ilvo.
Hi.
We're failing
I
at
am
basketball.
here. Huh? Oh, that's a shame.
Did you lose
Wait.
more money, Ilvo? Or just the one time?
So
You lost money, didn't you?
I accidentally found deep nests
Oh,
way
I did.
earlier than I should have.
Are you sure? Because you can, if you can get into it, it's not early. I don't know. I went to deepness super early,
It
so.
was behind a wall that I just happened to find because there was a tiny ledge sticking out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's time to actually
And
proceed with the
then
cookies.
I talked to the Moss Man, and he's like, "Yo, there's some dank shit."
Well, that happens. Yeah, you could have gotten your little soul buddy back.
I can still go back down. Like I haven't died again and lost the souls again. It's just
Oh.
down in fucking deepness.
Oh yeah. Have fun there with the foreground spiders.
That's not the issue I have. Is there no way to get out once the same direction that you went in?
You can get out of there.
You didn't answer my question.
I mean, that would be spoilers, but yeah, you can get in there. You can get out of there. I'm not gonna help you.
I thought those
can't
were
help you.
bombable blocks, but
That's fine.
not.
Everyone makes that mistake. Blame Zephyr for making sand undestroyable by bombs.
Yeah, that doesn't really make any sense.
Oh, jeez.
Ah.
So I've never really
I-
played this place without tanking a bunch of shit, so we'll figure out how it works.
Those sand blocks were added there so late. Like they were added like way post release,
That's fine.
and they were added there because a lot of people were like,
they only ever really appear like there and in most of Greatest Stretch.
yeah, and like some people didn't know how to use them. I was like, or how to do anything. I was like, well, what if I just block progression with them and say like you have to do this, and then that'll show the player that that's how you do it.
Right, and you only have 3 options at that point, so eventually you'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Mm.
it could have been done a lot better.
Hi, other
But I was
chat.
like,
I'm special because I make mistakes on a regular basis.
yes.
Yeah. I'm not stuttering. So,
We'll see you, Quaff.
aw man, see you later, Quaff.
I'm glad you were spiritually redeemed by my poor play against Final Nightmare Cloth.
I'm gonna have to figure out how to differentiate between Moogie and Zephyr. Moogie's the one who has the deep Cthulhu-esque voice, undertone voice, right?
Zephyr has the squirrely voice. Just remember that.
Squirrely.
Alright, Zephyr.
Yeah, well, Zephyr's the one who sounds like a random white guy, and I'm the one who sounds like a random white guy, so it's pretty easy to tell us apart.
Apparently I have a very distinctive voice, but I don't believe that.
You have a distinctive voice.
You're pretty distinctive.
Yeah.
Nah.
Moogie, just jump down there and kill him. Okay, thank you, you did. Thank you 30 seconds ago, Moogie.
And like, one of the things about playing on Achilles after Nightmare is like, oh my god, items exist now, I can finally collect things. I'm so happy.
Hey, I made Kefit laugh. Clearly I'm a valuable addition to this stream.
You are.
Oh shit.
You don't want to make Kevin laugh. He doesn't deserve to laugh.
Jeez.
Alright. Oh, and I think we were having trouble figuring this out on Nightmare, but these guys spawn based on proximity to the spawn location.
Yes.
Yeah, I noticed. I mean, that doesn't matter to you right now, but I did indeed notice this in my off-screen Nightmare playthrough. Oh man, you guys are gonna make me do the thing.
The thing? What are we gonna make you do?
I'm gonna end up finishing Wex, and you guys are gonna be like, great. Now, if you want us to talk to you in chat, you gotta beat Nightmare mode on stream. And I'm like, oh, that's a fair trade.
Nah, we won't do that to you.
I don't
We'll
believe
ask,
that
but
for
we
a
won't
second.
force you.
I don't believe that for a second, Zephyr.
Just do Night Terror. That'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. That would make the overall time spent shorter. But on the other hand, what if I told you that would also make the all time way longer? Really makes you think.
Hey,
All
Kefit's
right.
in the chat too. He just has his mic silenced. He just wants to hear real time.
That's
Real time.
fine. That's fine.
Real time, not 30 seconds ago time.
That's fine.
Let's see, what do I do about these guys?
Come on, 30 seconds ago, Moogie. You can solve the puzzle.
Yeah, I
Oh,
only
he
did
says
this
he's
on my
kinda-
initial playthrough, so I have no idea what to do now.
Apparently he's trying to figure out how to unmute his mic. There should be a little icon over there. Let's see. How do I mute myself? I don't know how.
Oh, right.
Okay, so you know how it says voice
there it is.
connected? Below that, there's your profile thing,
He
and
found
there's a mute button, a deafen button, and user settings, and you just click on the thing that's crossed out.
Yeah. It looks like he figured it out, but I don't think there's no audio coming through though.
Yeah. If you're having problems with the Discord's mic thing, try running Discord in administrator mode. That's what I have to do.
Oh, or that.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
this is the fun part of the puzzle 30 seconds ago, Moogie.
Right, you have to time the thingamabob.
And check your settings in Discord and make sure it's looking at the mic. I've had that.
Yeah,
problem
that
before
is
with
that is
software.
an important distinction. There might not be a mic registered, or better yet, it might be having your shitty native mic, which might not actually exist.
This is a fun screen to make. I like developing this one.
think about how the drill guys interact with everything.
I'm not gonna lie, if I hadn't like watched 60 parts of Raokao's LP of this game, I probably wouldn't have figured out that their falling speed can be modulated based on when you flick the switch.
That almost didn't make it, and I was like, is this too much? And I was like, nah, it's not too much. I'm just gonna give them this puzzle.
Yeah, it's a
It
very
is optional.
very sort of DT
Rest-
thing to make you do something like that.
Alright, rest in
specific.
pieces.
Yeah, like it's very video gamey, and that's what I was
Yeah.
like. I was like, well, no, the DT is very video gamey. Fuck it.
Rest in pieces, Kefit.
Poor
We'll
Kevin.
always remember you as that one guy who couldn't get his mic working.
We'll remember you as the
No,
guy
that-
who didn't play Achilles, Kevin.
Jeez.
I mean, like, my accomplishments in DT3 are all I have over Kevin when it comes to video games, so I like to give him shit about it. Like,
So, presumably, if I finish Hollow Knight and or get sick of it, that I want to stream something else before I finish Hollow Knight, the idea is to start the next part of the Quest for 1cc runs with arguably my favorite game in the Two Who's number 7.
The two who's. You can
Nah,
do it.
I didn't stutter. But I'm gonna try switching to a different character every time because I noticed people start to get real bored with Raimue. So I have decided this is hot advanced tips for anyone who gives an iota of a fuck. I will be playing Sakuya B for PCB, and I will be playing the Alice Marissa team for IN. And the only reason I'm doing that for IN is because of that line. That line in Stage 4, you know the line.
I
Do
haven't
I?
played it in like a million years, so I don't know the line.
Alright.
I'm
There's
so
a
far
thing
behind on it.
in an encounter in the boss stage. Sorry. Am I going to stream later? I don't even know who Slicks is asking that question to. I'm just gonna
To
assume he's
Kefit.
asking to everyone,
Nah, he's asking. To
including the spectators.
Yeah, he just wants somebody to stream it. He doesn't care who.
Oh damn! You're moving
last-
quick.
The last Tahoe I played through was 12. I'm way behind.
Yeah.
I
That's
played
fine.
one time. I
don't
played
know why,
13
but
one time.
The magic started to wear off around 13, and 14 had the boss where the gimmick is that it flips the screen around and thus your controls, which is disastrous in a shmup setting.
There we go.
And I was like, I guess I'm done.
That boss is actually pretty fun in Achilles because you have to like actually not flail around like an idiot.
Well, so for me, it was a lot of. Well, I'm developing DT right now.
Listen, in order to unlock solo characters, don't you have to beat the game with all 4 teams?
I have no idea. Does anybody in chat know? Okay, so I skipped that cutscene. It's telling me to go
I
somewhere.
would assume Kefit does.
Yeah, why would Kevin?
Oh yeah,
that
that's the cutscene where
Oh, shit.
Slow Beef cringed so hard he turned into a cucumber.
I didn't want to buy that.
He became Cucumber Slow Beef.
that
Thank you,
boss
thank
well.
you. Please leave your memes at the door.
That was good ad management, Moogie.
Yeah. I forgot which button was confirmed for the buying screen.
Nice.
Actually, I think there might be something I want to buy in the Zelda Gate. Let me go see that real quick. And yeah, like, I don't know why Slowbeef got so upset about the cutscenes in this game. Like, I mean, they're not good, but they're not, like, offensively bad.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. Like, I mean,
He wasn't prepared for internets with a Z. Most people don't seem to be, actually.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
internet's,
the
like,
internet
seems
thing.
to be a sticking point for many people. I'm not really sure why.
It's
I love how, like-
fascinating.
like a lot of people don't like
Like-
that, but the
Like,
more they play
I
this game,
understand. I understand why it's like what it is, but I find it utterly fascinating.
I find that the more the people play the game, the less it becomes a thing for them. Like after it's humorous that after a while, it's just like yeah, internet's, and it just passes. You just pass it off. Like okay, it's part of the
It's
game.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's.
No,
and
I mean,
and it was
it's
just a
fine.
dumb joke
That's,
in DT1, and then just it. I was like, well, I'm gonna keep the currency name the same.
I
even
mean,
though
yeah, you gotta
DT1
keep
was
that
taking itself-
consistency.
Yeah, like even like DT1 was taking us, or DT3
I mean,
was taking
just
itself a little more
because all the
seriously.
Just because all the skills farms were raised down and the uncharted lore between DT2 and 3 doesn't mean that internets ran out of value. The exchange rate managed to stay high by virtue of, hold on. I'm trying to pull a lot of headcanon out of my ass right now. It's all lies.
Right,
It's
right.
very
Like,
difficult.
like it didn't matter exactly.
Yeah. And like, apparently people got mad about awesome being the score too, but like, come on, that's pretty much what score is in other games anyway. It's just
Basically.
how awesome you are. It doesn't even do anything. You can turn it off if
It
you
doesn't.
want, so.
it's completely pointless. Yep. It's just like
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But
that.
but if you didn't want the game to be taken seriously, why would you have Unreal Guy off by default? Checkmate, Zephyrus.
Unreal Guy
Zephyrus
really should be
Maximus.
on by default. Like, it's not a question to me. Like, Unreal Guy is just, he's necessary. So I did some really stupid stuff here on Nightmare because I didn't realize you could make like a very simple jump that you can in fact make.
So
Yeah, there's
you'll be
a lot
happy
of
to know.
bosses here that you might not realize are pushable. That are totally pushable.
Yeah, the game that's bad on my part, honestly. Like the game doesn't really communicate that well. And at the time, I think at the
But
time I
it's
made this, I was
kinda
like,
weird because like 90% of those boxes don't actually need to be pushed.
right.
They're just boxes.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh, interactable objects. I don't know what I was really thinking with this level. This was very early, and I didn't really give it another pass.
Right, yeah, this feels like, feels very DT1-esque in that it's like, it's kind of got a, like, it reminds me of like an actual area in DT1, what is it, the base or whatever?
The one with the bump and techno music. Where
Yeah.
actually
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's appropriate. That's very appropriate now that
Yeah.
I think about it.
I don't know if I was trying to
Wait,
make
no,
that
you
reference.
fool! Push the box down to below
I got
before
it,
you get the red key.
I got it.
Thank you, 30 seconds ago, Moogie.
30 seconds ago, okay.
Wait, do you have the what's it called?
The what?
The beta test thing where the feed tries to actually speed up. So instead of it being 30 seconds, it's more like 12 seconds.
I don't know, like, I had something
That's a
where,
thing you have to. That's a thing you have to physically enable on Twitch, where it supposedly allows people to see what's happening on your stream faster. But
Oh,
also,
yeah, he probably has it on. Most likely.
given that, like, my stream ended up delayed by, like 20 minutes when I was doing DT1, probably something
Yeah,
like that.
like, yeah, so he probably has that beta thing on. I think most people do, but that doesn't really matter if your internet, if Moogie's internet's going really, really slow.
oh
So,
yes,
yeah.
fabled tales of the Moogie Net.
Yes,
I-
no, it is
I hear
real.
it.
The other day, it was literally like, what was it, 20, 30 minutes? That was
bad.
great. It was so amazing.
We finished
It was-
DT1 like that.
I'm glad you took the necessary step of talking to Mr. Businessman.
I always forget, like, what exactly you need to talk to.
That actually was a pretty enjoyable stream, despite the craziness of
was.
MoogieNet. We had fun with that.
I want to have more fun. You know what's fun?
Night Terror?
Actually having a good time. oh.
So,
Ow.
Moogie,
Yeah.
you'll be happy to know that the Happy Fun game also has Unreal Guy. That was the starts of
Yeah.
my Unreal Guy thing.
Yeah, I watched Brian's first video of it.
Okay.
It was
So-
pretty wonderful.
It's a game.
Yeah.
So here's my question. At what points did Unreal Guy go from genuine enjoyment to ironic enjoyment back to genuine enjoyment?
It was always genuine.
It's always genuine enjoyment. Like, I've always enjoyed the Unreal Guy thing. It's
Alright. I'm glad we're all on the same page here. which shouldn't be surprising since we're basically the fucking cult server. Might as well be, goddamn.
Well, the server's
Oh yeah,
open
did you notice
anyway.
did you notice the clouds are fixed?
Oh yeah, they are.
Like they don't go away if you just touch them. It's when you touch the top. I don't know
Nice.
why I didn't fix that for so long, because that annoyed the shit out of me. Like, I'd play the game, I'm like, why is this cloud disappear when I touch the bottom? This is fucking stupid. And I just never fixed it. And then finally one day, like 2 years after the game released, I was like, oh yeah, I'll fix that.